I'm joined by Jason Byrne of the Irish Sun to talk about, well, frankly, Mayo's battering of Galway, 323 to 17 points. So many players played well for Mayo, and I would say Pádraig Joyce is very, very worried after that performance.
Yeah, Shane, we were just talking to him there. He was, he was very honest. He said it was men against boys. Galway were class from start to finish. They had a mountain to climb very early on when they went 1-5 to a point behind. Mayo just blew them out of the water from start to finish. It was just top drawer from James Horan's men. I think they only kicked three wides, which tells the story of just how clinical they were in front of goal. They did 2-17 scored in the first half alone. I thought they were going to hit 30 points. They did when they got the second goal, or the third goal, sorry, in the second half to bring it up to 32 in total. But it was just exhibition stuff from Mayo. Like a friend of mine said to me this morning, he said, I have Galway in my bet. And I just had a feeling. I said, take Galway out and back Mayo. I just have a feeling, when this Mayo team are backed into a corner like this in terms of where they were in relegation, they always find a way to fight their way out of it. And to say they done it in style today, just something else. Like, it was weird coming in here to Tuam, Shane, that I could hear just before 1 o'clock normally when Galway are playing Mayo, even if it's an FBD league game in the middle of January. The place would be absolutely heaving, but not a sinner, so that was strange. But no doubt the 10,000 obsessives from Mayo that would have shown up today would have left happy. At least they got to see it on TV. But magnificent stuff. So many players played well. As you said, Aidan O'Shea inside scored 3 points, created so much more, caused Galway so many problems all day long. Killian O'Connor got 3 points from play, got 10 in total. He's their free taker, but I thought his overall play today was excellent. Jeremy O'Connor worked like a dog again. Lee Keegan didn't even need to get the burners on once. He was kind of sitting in corner back. He didn't even have any fires to put out there. Paddy Durkin got 1-2 from wing back. You have to mention as well, Galway did lose Damien Comer early on, and Corey Joyce has just told us that it's looking like bad news for Damien again. He's done his hamstring. He's heading for a scan tomorrow, and his 2020 season could be over, which isn't good for him. We thought initially when he did go off, he went off inside 4 minutes here, just looking at my notes. We thought it might have been a recurrence of the ankle problem that's dogged him for the last couple of seasons, but it's quite a bad hamstring injury, as Tom had been out of Gym Stadium here earlier. So hopefully it's not too bad for Damien's sake. But Pádraig Joyce has just told us there that it doesn't look good for him, I'm afraid. So that's a big blow for Galway. And of course, they already missed their talisman and their captain, Shane Walsh, desperately today. How they could have done with his expertise up front. They really, really missed him, and that was a massive factor too.
Yeah, isn't it unusual how much the script has been flipped? Like earlier on in the year, you were wondering where Mayo go, and now all of a sudden they play brilliantly. Mark Moran is really good. Oisin Mullen, Owen McLaughlin, Tommy Conroy, Connor Loftus out midfield. There's so many guys who played really well. Whereas in the Galway point of view, if that's Damien Comer gone, not 100% sure when Shane Walsh is meant to be back. In the Connacht semi-final is the weekend of the 7th to 8th of Mayo. It's a month. It's less than a month from now that the Connacht final is actually going to be on. And all of a sudden, a Galway team that looked brilliant at the start of the year under Pádraig Joyce, all of a sudden they're actually looking like they're reeling. And like if Ronan Steed is also missing, I'm not sure when he's due to be back. But if those three key men are missing, you just wonder how much of a challenge they can mount.
Yeah, like it's just like you said there, just everything you said there, spot on. Very, very worrying for them today now. Their kickouts, they didn't barely get a hand on their own kickouts at all. Connor Loftus starting in midfield, as you said, for Mayo. Absolute masterstroke from James Horn. He scored 1-2 and he set up one of the goals as well. Mark Moran looks really fine. He was only called in after the club championship season. He was one of Westport's main men on their journey to the county semi-final, and fully worthy of his call-up and fully worthy of his start today. I thought he was absolutely fantastic for Mayo. No fear, great strength on the ball, never gave it away, and just contributed so much to that Mayo performance today. I thought he was fantastic. So the Mayo supporters will be looking forward to seeing him in the flesh whenever that day comes for them. But yeah, extremely worrying for Galway. No saying Jim McGuinness here today, and a couple of the people in the houses behind the goals at the southern end of Tuam Stadium here we're looking out again, watching the game live, but there was no sign of Jim McGuinness either. But yeah, desperately worrying for Galway. Those injuries just look like they're really, really going to cost them now. Pádraig was asked there as well, did he think that the game against Dublin would go ahead next week? And he said, well, at halftime here in Tuam today, he was hoping the whole season would stop. So that was his feelings of it. the whole thing, and you would blame him.
Yeah, because you'd see some people, even online, as I was tweeting during the match and after it, saying league is league and maybe it doesn't matter as much. But for Pádraig Joyce, that would be unbelievably worrying, because this is the main preparation he's going to get for his championship at this stage. After 7.5 months of not playing, he needs to know who's on form and who's not, and pretty much nobody is. So that's really, really difficult spot for them. Can I ask you about Aidan O'Shea? We've seen him play full forward plenty of times over the years. He's destroyed some teams, and Sligo come to mind, and Donegal one of the years as well. But then maybe it hasn't worked against the likes of Dublin, because maybe too much 50-50 ball is going in and he has two lads swinging out of him, spoiling him. But when he's used right in full forward, like, he is very hard to stop.
Yeah, impossible, Shane. Like he was marking Sean Andy O'Kelly today, the Galway fullback, who'd be very highly rated, and you would have thought that would have been a very decent matchup. But O'Shea just looked so hungry today. He's probably still a bit wounded from that club county final defeat as well. He started in full forward in that game against Knockmore, and he kind of drifted out. I thought Brafey should have left him in there a bit longer, but today he was just colossal. He was just magnificent, and even at the water break. In the second half, Shane, Mayo took their water break right in front of me here in the stand. All the press were obviously dispersed across the stand here today, and you could hear him just still roaring at the players, still driving them on. Just keep the pace, don't drop down a gear, keeping their feet on Galway's throats basically, and that's the kind of determination that was in that Mayo team today. But as one of the Mayo journalists said to me there at the end, it's only October. So we'll see.
But do you get a feeling that this Mayo team, all of a sudden, they're a serious proposition? Because even Dublin, and again, how much do we read into it? But Dublin beating Meath by 4 points, 220-19. They were good in parts, but they looked fallible in other areas. So, like, do you feel all of a sudden maybe Mayo can make a real push now?
Yeah, like it'll be interesting, Shane. Like, they still have a couple of lads to come back as well. Like obviously Colin Boyle's year's over. They've Chris Barrett to come back in. They've Kevin McLaughlin to come back in. Shane O'Shea is still touch and go with an injury. They're obviously going to miss Jason Doherty as well. His season's over with a serious knee problem. It looks like he's done his cruciate. So if they had a full deck again, you would wonder, could this be their year? Our colleague in the media, Pat Nolan, tweeted there that this was Mayo's biggest league win over Galway since 1952. Not quite 1951, but close enough. Definitely could be their year. Like the knockout football will definitely sit them, because as I said earlier, when they are back into a corner, that's when they normally tend to produce. But just again, if they come up against Dublin in Championship, that's been their big Achilles heel over the past number of years, and it'd be great to see them meeting each other again at Croke Park later on in the year, if the season can stay afloat, please God.
Well, thanks very much, Jason, for joining me. Get yourself home and get yourself warm.
Thanks, Shane.